Today we are going to review one of the iconic guns of all time, which really started off the trend of polymer defensive handguns, and that is the Glock 17. So this is really amazing. This was developed in the late 1970s by Gidon Glock in Austria. And back then, most handguns were steel frame, really heavy, brick-like weapons like the 1911, the high power, etc. And developing the idea of developing something which was much lighter with a polymer nobody even thought of, and Gidon Glock came up with this, and he developed the Glock 17, and it was at first scoffed at by a lot of people, traditionalists and purists who thought of a handgun as needing to be a steel frame construction, and a lot of people didn't like it, but a lot of people did also. A lot of governments started to adopt this when they saw how effective this was, how rugged and accurate and light this kind of a weapon would be. And so, military started adopting it, a lot of police departments in the US and in Europe and all over the world. And this really, by the 1980s, this was one of the premier handguns in the world. And so there was, the Gen 1, Gen 2, Gen 3, Gen 4. Now we have the Gen 5. This one here is a Gen 4. So the difference is, they're minor. This has got finger grooves, and you can replace the back plate over here. And there is a Picatinny rail on this one. The original, the Gen 1s, the Gen 2s didn't have that. It's got better sights, but overall they haven't really changed that much over the years. It is just really one of the best weapons of all time, if you ask me. And so, this has stayed in production. It's stayed in use by a lot of police departments. Probably one of the most popular guns among cops in America and across the world to this day, and also among militaries. A lot of militaries using the Glock 17. So, granted, nowadays we also have a lot of shorter, smaller, more compact versions of the Glock. We have, of course, there is the Glock 19, which is a little bit of a smaller version. They basically cut down the barrel a little bit, and they cut down the slide. And then we got, the subcompacts like the 43. But the 17 is still really the benchmark, and it's a large gun. It is large. It's bulky, so it's not necessarily a great choice for EDC, for concealed carry. But it is still an amazing weapon. It's that extra length gives it better velocity, a little bit better accuracy, more stability, and then the longer pistol grip gives you first of all a better grip on the weapon, especially if you're a big guy like me with large hands, and then it also gives you a couple extra rounds. So another thing that was revolutionary about this gun is the fact that it holds 17 rounds. I mean, that was back then in the late 70s. That was really unheard of. 17 rounds in a magazine. I mean, the most you could have found out that around that time was around 15. So this had 17, and that's really revolutionary. So it's got the this is one of those original magazines. Got some newer ones too. This is a newer one, but they from the beginning they've always had those witness holes in the back. And it tells you exactly how many rounds are in there, from 5 going all the way up to 17. So you always know, how many rounds you have in your magazine. So this is, again, it is a great gun. It is rugged as hell. Striker fired. Very, very simple. This is the epitome in simplicity. You're not going to get simpler than a Glock 17. And so, if you want a pistol that is something you don't have to worry about concealing, that you're going to use for defensive purposes, this would be and should be a #1 choice. It does have a little bit better velocity, and probably a bit more stability than a 19, and more capacity. So this is something that you definitely should consider. So let's go ahead and do some shooting with it. I'm really excited. I bought this recently, and I haven't got a chance to do that much training on it yet, and so I'm always excited to try out something new and see how it goes. And 17 round magazines nowadays, that's not considered something so special or so unusual, but back in the day, again, that really was something that you didn't see a lot of. So now it's considered kind of normal, and all the companies are fighting each other to see, they're competing with each other to see who can have the highest capacity. Let's see how this goes. yeah, this is really smooth. I mean, there is nothing like a Glock in terms of reliability, smoothness. I mean, ruggedness. They don't jam. You know, you can afford to get away with not cleaning them that often, as opposed to other guns where, you know, you shoot them one time and they foul up, and you're gonna have non-stop malfunctions. The Glock is something where, you know, I'm not gonna tell you don't clean your gun. Clean your gun. But even if it's a Glock, but you know, you could probably get away with not cleaning it all the time, and it's still going to shoot reliably. So, you know, again, you want a gun that's going to work, something simple, battle tested, proven. Glock 17 can be a great choice for you. The Israeli security services have been using Glocks for a long time, and you know, if they're choosing a gun, you know it's going to work. So, hope you like this video. Make sure to subscribe, give us a like, and we'll see you next time.